Shit. This is what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da. Let me tell you what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da. All right, but since we talking about the Bulls and all of that, we was just talking about MJ. Let's go top 3 players of all time. We're in the Central Division, NBA. Let's go Detroit. Keep it a C note. Who's the greatest 3 Detroit Pistons players ever?
You want to start that off, Vito, or you want me to go ahead?
No, you can go ahead.
All right, you said for Detroit.
Detroit. Who you got?
I'm going to just go right. Number 3, I got Isaiah Thomas.
Okay.
Number 2, I got Dave Bang. Number 1, Bob Lanier. Sorry.
Okay, you went old school.
I had to go.
We're going to get back to that because I'm going to call you an Uber.
No, I had to go through season length, how much time they had playing on the Pistons.
Okay.
And their input.
I'm going to let Vito go, but we going
I'm going to go Joe Dumars, Grant Hill, Isaiah Thomas.
Who won?
Isaiah 1, Grant 2, Joe Mars 3. Dumars 3.
Shout out to Vito. Let's toast to that, Vito. I tell you, boy, I'm going to send him back to training camp, man. This boy listen, we can call you Vito Samuels from now on because you focus, boy. You focus. I got Joe Dumars at 3. I got Grant Hill at 2. And I got Isaiah Thomas. So, what's your thoughts, people? Greatest 3 Detroit Pistons players ever. Who you got? Let's go to Indiana Pacers. Who's the greatest 3 Indiana Pacers players ever? I set it off. I'm going to go 3. I'm going to go Jermaine O'Neal. Jermaine O'Neal, he had a chance to win in the chip. Shout out Brian Artest and them, and they was just too hood that year. But Jermaine O'Neal was the man them years in Indiana. Number 2, I got PG, Paul George. PG-13, and he wore 24 over there. Only thing I think that stopped him from playing in the NBA Finals is Miami Heat in the Big 3. Number 1, I got Reggie Miller. You know what I mean? Mr. Knicks killer. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Who you got, John? Keep it a C note.
Call me old school, but I'm sorry.
I thought you was going to say call you.
Call me old school because I got to go with longevity, time in on the team. So number 3. No, even game. Okay, so number 3, I got George McGinnis.
Okay, shout out George McGinnis.
George McGinnis. He's at my number 3. Number 2, Paul George. And number 1, Reggie.
Okay.
Shout out. Talking about longevity. Paul George ain't had no fucking longevity with them.
He did, but he had a long stint where he actually produced some high numbers.
High. Well, my number 3 is Mark Jackson, man.
Shout out Mark Jackson.
Listen,
you rock with Mark Jackson.
That's my man.
Okay.
Solid, plain, not a lot of flash.
Okay.
My number 2, Jalen Rose.
Okay.
He had the best mid-range game in his era. One of the best.
He was a nice lefty.
Okay.
And he was a big guard. My number 1, Reggie.
Okay. I'm going to need an Uber for both of y'all because you had Isaiah at 3 for Detroit. and you had who? Jalen Rose.
Jalen Rose is a boss. 6'7" point guard? You tripping.
I'm not tripping,
mid-range game? Like James Worthy?
I'm talking about when he played in Indy, though.
Yeah. That's when he was mid-range ball.
Man,
Come on, man. You can go back through your history.
Man, listen.
Jalen.
Listen when I'm not bidding, y'all. I will put the Duncan Dutchman over Jalen Rose. Rick Smith was come on,
Rick
man.
Smith's run wasn't long enough, man.
I'm
a fan of Rick Smith, but he
can't
stay hurt.
Davis over Jalen Rose.
You can't put the Davis boys
man,
over
I
Jalen
put
Rose.
Ron Artest over Jalen Rose in Indiana. Man,
it depends. What are you basing on? I'm basing on game. Don't none of those got more game than Jalen Rose?
Ron Artest wasn't better than Jalen Rose?
Defensively, yes, but that's it. It ain't nothing on offense. It's nothing on offense. Ron Artest can do better than Jalen Rose.
Call this man.
I'm listening.
What are you talking about? Jalen Rose in Michigan or in the NBA? We're talking
what could
NBA.
Ron Artest do better than Jalen Rose on offense?
Post up. He post up better.
What? Ron Artest ain't get offense till later in his career.
What? Ron Artest had more offense earlier in his career than he had later in his career. What are you talking about?
All right. Wait, hold up, because I'm gonna touch base on mine. You might have to call me Oouuber, but mine's is based on bias. But my order, I'm sticking to it. Maybe Isaiah doesn't deserve to be at number 3. Maybe he should be at 1. But as far as Dave Bang,
I'm not even debating Dave Bang and Bob Lanier. But Dave Bang and them is not better than Isaiah Thomas, bro. We're not gonna do that. But what's your thoughts, people? In their prime, pick one, clip one. Who was better? Ron Artest, Jalen Rose.
I need them to do
keep it a C note with us. I'm doing it right now. Let's go Cleveland Cavaliers. Who's the greatest 3 Cavaliers players ever? Keep it a C note with us.
You want me to go? Go ahead. All right, number 3, I got World Be Free.
Okay.
Brad Dartney and LeBron.
Yep. Okay, and then LeBron. Okay.
I go. I got Brad Daugherty. I got matter of fact. Damn, Brad Daugherty and Larry Nance is kind of a toss-up for me. But then number 2, I got Mark Price and then LeBron.
Okay. At 3, I got Kyrie Irving. At 2, I got Mark Price. And at 1, I got LeBron James. Even though Kyrie Irving only going to give you 60-something games a year, he's still better than Daugherty.
But he didn't play that long there.
Huh?
He didn't really play that long there. He didn't really play nowhere long, in my opinion.
I mean, I don't know. I just got him better than enough.
I'm better than Brad Daugherty. He did time in.
I like Brad Daugherty. That's my guy. But Brad Daugherty is my guy. Shout out my pop, because my pop always used to tease me. He like Brad Daugherty was a big softy, pause. And he like, that's like one of, like, I used to like Brad Daugherty, but he used to grind Brad Daugherty up, say he was a soft big man.
Because he could stretch, he could shoot that joint. That's why.
So, maybe that's why. My dad and them, they was old school. They come from Moses and them. So when they see Brad Daugherty trying to go out to the mid-range and all that, I guess they consider that soft. Well, what's your thoughts? Greatest 3 Cleveland Cavaliers players ever. Keep it a C note with us. Let's go Chicago Bulls. We can all agree MJ is number 1. Who's 2 and 3? Who's the greatest 3 Bulls players?
2 Pippen, 3 Rose.
Okay.
I agree.
Hey, shout out to that. I don't even got nothing in my cup, but when the last time we all agreed on that? Yep, I also agree. Rose 3, 2 Pippen, 1 Jordan. What's your thoughts, people? I'm pretty sure everybody got that list. Unless you from the old school era, you might got Jerry Sloan, you might got Artist Gilmore, dudes that was hooping. But who's the greatest 3 Chicago Bulls players ever? Keep it a C note with us. Last one, let's see if we can agree on this. Milwaukee Bucks.
I'll do that.
Who's the greatest 3 Milwaukee Bucks players ever? Keep it a C note with us.
I'll start this off, and I hope we all got the same list. At number 3, I got Ray Allen. Number 2, I got Giannis. And number 1, I got Kareem.
We don't all have the same list. Who you got, Vito?
I got Giannis at 3. I got Big O at 2, and then I got Kareem.
Okay, Vito, man, we could take a shot to that. Shout out! I'm telling you, I'm sending Vito back to training camp again.
Y'all need to call me an Uber. I completely forgot about the Big O.
If you forgot about the Big O, you need an Uber. Yeah, my number 3, Giannis. Mm-hmm. Number 2, Oscar as well. Number 1, Kareem. Keep it a C note, people. Greatest 3 Milwaukee Bucks players ever. Sorry. Who are they?
Ray wouldn't have made that list. My bad.
But I ain't mad at Ray.
My bad. Out of all the lists you had so far, Ray was cool.
And I ain't mad at that because I don't like to put 2 people with different teams because I might put
the big O. That shit's just slipped.
I might put Kareem as a Laker because I feel like Kareem is more of a Laker than a Buck in my opinion. But I don't know too many Bucks.
But he won his first chip there.
Oh, it was nice.
He won his first chip there.
Dunking all over Will.
Okay, listen. Before we start this next segment, I want to give a disclaimer, right? Because my brother John right here, brother X, what I want to say is he's pro-black. He's not racist. He doesn't have a problem against white people and all of that. because I know some people came off to them as like you don't deal with white people and all. So I wanted to give that disclaimer. I want to give another disclaimer because our next topic is interracial relationships.
Hold on, before we go any further, let's give a shout out to brother Professor X.
Yes,
Today is his birthday.
Yes, but that was another disclaimer, right? We're gonna give Brother X John a pass today and the whole week because it's his birthday week. We gonna turn up. We automatically got an Uber for him. But if he says some things on this episode that rubs you wrong, it's his birthday.
I'm allowed.
It's his
I'm
birthday.
allowed.
This is his birthday week, so we
That's
gonna
why
turn. We
Bel
doing a
Air.
little bit of everything.
Right.
So, but the disclaimer is when we're talking about interracial relationships, to me, I look at everything like some people may look at it black and white, but to me, Puerto Rican and white, I look at when I'm saying interracial, I'm doing everything and white. So, what's your thoughts? Interracial relationships, is it a big thing? Because in our era, it was definitely huge. What do you feel about interracial?
Let me say this first. For one, where you live plays a part in that. Like if you in a city,
right,
where it's a big interracial city,
right,
interracial couples is looked at as regular,
right.
But on the flip side, like I went on a date with a white girl before. I just didn't feel right.
Why not?
Because even though it probably wasn't the case, I just felt like everybody was looking at me.
Okay, so let me ask you this though, Vito, because your neighborhood isn't multicultural, is it?
No, not at all.
See, because I think me and John, and that's why I had to tell a lot of people when they were asking me, I'm like, me and John went to a multicultural school where over 50% of the school was probably Asians. You know what I mean? And then the rest was blacks, whites, and Puerto Ricans.
That was my next point.
So my thing with that is he's interacted and I know him since before high school. I'm talking about middle school, high school, and all that. So some of our good friends was white and all of that. So I don't want anybody to ever think that it was something else. But my thing is this, because if you're to me, when you saying it kind of felt weird. It's like, to me, if you're not from that, but like your neighborhood isn't kind of mixed like that. So what I'm saying, us more so, we seen that. Even in my neighborhood, Girard Ave, when you had Fishtown and everything right down the street. Don't get me wrong, Fishtown was racist, but you did see blacks and whites together. So I look at it a little different. To me, it's not weird.
That's what I said. It depends on where you live.
No, yeah. It do depend on where you live. But I've dealt with, an Italian girl where her dad used to get on the phone, call me a nigger. Like, he was straight racist and all. So I've dealt with all of this. You see what I'm saying? But what else you had to say? You had something else to say?
I'll take it a step further. Do you remember the boy, Rod, that was booked with us? The
Rod?
Cambodian boy?
Yeah.
Now, his folks had a store in my hood, and I used to see him all the time, and he broke it down to me one day. He was like, the Cambodians are the niggas of Asia. Yeah. And he told me, he's like, think about it. We're darker, we're poorer, and we get treated worse. He was like, if you ever notice, he said, if you see an Asian chick with a black guy, 9 times out of 10 they're Cambodian.
Right.
If you see an Asian chick with a white guy, 9 times out of 10 they're either Korean or Japanese. He said, if you look on any college campus, if you see an Asian chick, they're either with an Asian guy or a white guy. 9 times out of 10, they're Japanese, Chinese,
right,
or Asian. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and that's no lie, because I've dealt with maybe 3 or 4 Asian girls in my life, and they all were Cambodian. Mm-hmm. They all were Cambodian. Wow. What's your thoughts on it?
I don't know, because down in the campus, I see them black boys. They mess with anything. It don't matter if you.
Yeah, they gonna run down on anything.
Yeah, they run down.
But I seen them with some like Asian. I mean, not to be discriminatory, but I don't think it's a high number of Cambodians at like an Ivy League school.
Yeah, but
not to take nothing away, but I know that there are some. There are some.
Time out for the record. Again, it goes back to Vito was saying where you're from, because
it's all about your environment.
as you mentioned, and he was more of a neighborhood, like, so
Mhm.
we don't know how that college, you can break that
Yeah,
down
but-
to us how college was,
Yeah,
because
but
you actually,
But no, I just say that those black
But
guys,
being-
they'll mess with anybody. But
being pro-black,
what do I feel?
how do you feel about interracial relationships?
I mean, here's my thing. Yeah, I don't want y'all to be surprised, but I'm like, do you? If you're a black dude and you like a white girl and that's what you like, and you're not just trying to chase a fad or whatever, you think you reached the glory. I've done it. I reached the mountaintop because I got me. Now that bothers me. But if you find like your soulmate and in whatever race it is, I don't give a fuck. Love is love. Like I'm happy for you.
Right.
I'm happy for you. Whether if it's a sister or the white guy, if that guy makes her happy, god damn it, be with that guy. And
Right.
It's all about your happiness at the end of the
yeah,
day.
it's all
Right.
about your happiness at the end. But disclaimer,
Brother.
I am all about my culture. I can't say that I would advocate for all that, but I'm just saying I'm all
You
about.
understand?
I'm all about black love.
Okay,
I love the
All
black
right,
woman.
so let me ask you this, though, right? Being as though you're all about black love, what kind of irks you more? If you see a black brother with a white girl, or if you see a black woman with a white guy?
This is gonna be messed
Keep it
up.
a C note.
Black
I'ma
woman
keep
with
it
a white
C.
guy.
Yeah, no.
You too?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
mad.
it is because you don't see it as much. You see a black guy with a white woman a lot more
Mhm.
than you would see a black woman with a white guy. And I don't know.
What's wrong with it?
It's
Nothing's
actually
wrong with
nothing wrong
But
with
it just it will irk y'all more.
Maybe because I'm a guy.
It sends a little thing. It's a nerve. It lets me know, like, yeah, I noticed y'all. But then that's about
Hold,
it.
just
That's all.
let me say this for the
I'm
record.
like, oh, I see you, sis. Okay.
Nothing's better than a black woman.
Right. Okay. So that's Vito keeping
Yeah.
it a C note.
Nothing.
I would agree. Let me ask you this, right? What irks you more? Right? What irks you more? The white girl that acts black, or the black girl that acts white?
No,
Black girl that acts white.
No. I'm gonna take the white girl that acts black because there's a lot of times that there's black women. Even I see them all across the university. They grow up in these neighborhoods. It's not their fault of where they grow up from, and
Right.
they don't have that type of slang or whatever. And not to say that they talk white, they just educated differently and they
Right.
talk differently.
Right.
So I'm not going to fault a black girl for being a valley girl, but
Right. So why you gonna fault a white girl?
because that's cultural appropriation.
Nah,
You know,
it's the
the
same
appropriate-
thing. Same
Nah.
thing. If they grow up in the hood
No.
with a bunch of
Talking
black
proper,
people, Come on,
proper
man.
is not being white. That's just being. I mean,
proper. Yeah, it depends on where you
that
come
shit.
up.
No.
If she's a valley girl,
See, this is my thing, right? Because I look at it different because, like I said, I've grown up with multicultural neighborhoods. Nothing irks me more than a black girl or a black guy that I don't care who they're dealing with. But when you're not in tune at all with black culture,
I've seen it.
when you're not at all in tune with black culture at all, it's like that really irks me because
irks
I can understand you lived in the neighborhood, you moved out the neighborhood, or even you were black and you didn't. You supposed to be in tune somewhat. It's no way I can say name the Fallout Boys and a black woman can name the Fallout Boys, but I say name somebody NWA, the Roots, and they don't know what's like.
But-
No, I
But
don't.
see,
I don't.
Here's my thing. I can't say. I always felt like what I believe in. I can't reach everybody, and with me, on the other side, when a white woman is acting black, I don't know. It's just to me, it's more seems like a disrespect. And now, when a black person, to me, it feels like they're not in tune with being black. It to me, it just feels like we lost one.
But listen, to me, it's more so of who you're around.
Okay.
Because if you go down Kensington,
That's what I was.
you
gonna
go
pick up.
down Badlands, you go to them Puerto Rican neighborhoods, the ones that hang with the blacks, they're gonna come off as if they're black. Just like white people that grow up in the neighborhood, they're gonna act a little black. You got some of them, because we've had this conversation, John. You got some of them that blacks call them niggas, and whites. That's my nigga, and it may be right. It may not.
Yeah, they get a pass.
But they get a pass for it. You see what I'm saying? The same thing with Puerto Ricans, and I know that hurt you because you and I had this conversation.
Listen, I had a personal experience with me and my homie. I ain't gonna say his name because he's a married man now, but he used to play college ball. That's what I'm gonna say.
Right.
And we both had chicks, courtesy of him, because he was the man.
Right.
And he had a white chick. I had a black chick.
Right.
If you would close your eyes, you would think the black chick was the white chick because she was act whiter than the white girl.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Sometimes, even with that, John, like, sometimes the black girls, not just the black girls, because we got to focus on the guys, too, because sometimes when they're a little bit better than us, like raised a little bit better, a little bit more stability, sometimes they lead more towards, I know because we got a bunch of homies.
Yeah, especially my cousin, I'm not going to say his name. Like, I know that he grew up right outside of Philly, went to a county school.
Right.
And then right now, I mean, as expected because of that type of environment, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm happy for him and his family, but it was almost expected. I knew he was going to end up with a white woman. Right. And he was going to have whatever, but...
Okay, let me ask you this then. If you had the choice of a white woman with everything going for herself and a black woman that was down on her luck, which one would you choose?
I'm taking a white woman.
See,
I'm the king of the season.
What you choosing?
Look, he going.
What you choosing, Professor X?
Black woman. He's gonna say we supposed to lift our women, right?
Exactly. But at the same time, I would tell our viewers out there to choose happiness.
You ain't you ain't answering my question. Which one are you taking?
But see, with me, since I'm for the culture, I would see that black sister who's down on her luck. I'm helping her.
Me too.
That's my.
I'm taking
that's what I'm
out there for. I'm the outside on this.
No, but I'm just saying everybody should choose happiness. I'm not saying that.
I don't see color. It's not about color, man.
Remember what I said. Nothing's better than a black woman. Think about it. Now, don't get me wrong. It's nothing. I like all women. I like all colors. I like all shapes, all sizes. But think about how the women age in each race. Right. Nobody ages like they say black don't crack. That is true.
Right. I understand that. I understand all of that. But what I'm saying,
and I need somebody to be able to understand me.
There's nothing wrong with having preferences.
Listen to what I'm saying. I need somebody to understand me, but I also need somebody that, I can rely. If I have a stroke or anything right now, and I'm dealing with this woman is down on luck, it's over. So it's over. She might even.
Well, hold on. You must know. Your girl must know why Snap, because do you see it? 90% of that shit is the white women killing him, man.
What I'm saying is, I understand that, but what I'm saying is, a lady that's down on her luck, you're trying to build her up, right? You have a misfortune to happen. She's still down on her luck. 9 times out of 10, she's gone.
All right, but here, let me ask you a question.
But hold before you say that, one thing I can say. Even with her being down on luck, nobody knows how to struggle and come up like a black woman.
Right.
Black women are resilient.
She's gonna disappear and go come up with.
That's cool. That's cool. But I'll move on to the next one. But black women are resilient, man.
Listen, I need more stability. I need stability, man.
Who's to say that white woman's gonna be stable with you, baby?
Man, what I'm saying is, if you're choosing a stable white woman, like you're saying, or a black woman is down on her luck,
I mean a black woman,
right? And you're gonna boost her up in 2 months and a couple months into boosting her up, something bad happens to you where you can't boost her up.
And that's the stereotype that we
it's
need.
not a
but my thing
is what I'm basing
I was always able to get my own.
What
so
I'm saying
I don't give a fuck what the woman got.
What I'm saying is, I understand that part, but what I'm looking at is the future now. I always did look at the future. I always lived for the moment. But what I'm saying is, if I can't provide for that woman that's down and out at that time,
I'm gonna struggle together.
Let me ask you a question.
Is she gonna leave me?
No, we gonna go rob a bank together.
You got people like that, but not all.
But have you ever been with a sister when you was down on your luck?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like
Hold you down.
We're not always at the top of the mountain when we meet somebody else.
Yeah, but we're not. What I'm saying is, 9 times out of 10, when I did that, it was it was mostly with
Uh,
it was mostly with females that I held down, but they still were stable on it. What I'm saying is, I'm just going off the scenario y'all said. She's not stable.
Yeah,
She's not stable.
I'm still going with the
she's
black
not
woman.
stable. She's
All right.
more liable to diddy bop off on you. That's all I'm saying.
All right, but let me ask you a question
going
in
with
reference
that
with that. Like, with all these athletes, is there a correlation between black athletes marrying outside of their race when they're rich?
No, because
No.
what I say, it goes back to where you live. Because think about it, a lot of these athletes go to schools that are populated with a lot of white females, and when they're the man, yeah, and they're amongst some white females, especially they come from an all black neighborhood, and they're not used to that, and they see a bad white female,
Right, and
that
John,
shit pops
you
off.
I went to school, so you know how them parties.
Yeah, so
are
I was just
and
asking
all
if y'all thought that there was just
And for the record, now this is not for all black women, but when it comes to black women and white women, from my experience, white women come with a less of an attitude. But me personally, I invite that attitude. That's why I say I love the black women.
You like that.
I like that.
You like the beef and all that.
No, I don't like
you
the beef.
I
That's
can
the last
see
thing.
now.
No.
I can see you now.
But
That
you
shit
already
turn
listen.
you
First
on.
and foremost, I don't like the beef because my thing is I'm not into hitting women, but I'm also
I'm not that.
But I'm saying, but I'm not into being talked to any type of way. I don't give a fuck who it come from. You know what I'm saying? And I don't. But I just like the attitude. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so what's your whole thoughts on everything, people? Interracial relationships. Does it matter these days? Do you care about it? Keep it a C note. Pick one, clip one. What irks you more? The black man or woman that has the characteristics, we would say, or the black person that acts white or the white person that acts black.
There we go.
Let's just do black and white. Keep it plain and simple. This is the Keep It a C Note podcast. Shit. This is what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da. Let me tell you what I'm feeling like. Da, da, da.